All right, I'm going to go on and get started. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this Facebook Live. I've been looking forward to doing this today, looking forward to sharing more skills with you. Just in case you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Javanae Skiba, and I'm the Training and Film Screening Coordinator for the Resiliency Task Force in New Hanover County. And I just wanted to get on Facebook and share some more skills with you, review the skills that we did last week, and kind of just check in and let you know that the task force is here for you, and let's go on and get started. Last week, we went over the basic 3 skills of CRIM, and another refresher in what CRIM is. CRIM is short for the Community Resiliency Model, and that's a model that the Resiliency Task Force recommends, and we offer trainings in that model. And they're a set of 6 wellness skills that help us build up our resilient zone. And like I said last week, our resilient zone is that space, we can say, where we feel like we're thriving, where we feel like there's a balance in mind, body, and spirit. We're able to handle those stresses of life, but still feel in balance and control and to thrive. It happens very often recently, but just in life in general, that we can get bumped out of that resilient zone. And what we can do is build resilience so that that zone is deepened. And we've been able to talk about tracking and resourcing and grounding. Tracking is really paying attention to the sensations in your body for wellness sake. It's being aware that that sensation is really the language of the body. It's how we make memories. It's how our brain knows whether it needs to protect us or if our brain needs to allow us to relax. So tracking is foundational to all of these skills. Resourcing is thinking of something that brings you a sense of peace or calm, and that can be anything. It can be a picture, it can be a memory, it can be a strength that you have, that when you think about it, you're able to sense strength and sense that calmness or peace that comes with that sense of strength. And finally, we have grounding. And grounding is just making sure you're aware of the sensation of something that's giving you support. So you can ground your feet onto the floor, feel your feet touch that surface and have that support, or feel the back of your chair, that chair back giving your back support, and actually tuning into that sensation of support and letting it bring you that sense of calm or that sense of peace, or at least even a neutral sense, one that's not negative or unpleasant, I should say. So I have to say, one resource for me this week has been on my timeline, a picture of my family, my husband's side of the family, from our Christmas card a couple of years ago, popped up in one of my Facebook memories, and that definitely served as a resource. Looking at it, I just felt such joy, and the actual sensation of that joy was warmth in my chest, warmth in my cheeks. Thinking about the people that I love brings that sense of that sensation of warmth, and I just resort to that during these times when working from home and not being able to go out and meet with people can be a little taxing and kind of deplete my resilience. So that's been great. I also found a picture of my brother and my sister and my mom that served as a resource that I've enjoyed looking at, and I posted on Facebook this morning. So just go back to those resources that you have that bring you that sense of joy and the pleasant sensations that come along with that. Make sure that you're using that and using grounding, and tracking all of those sensations that you feel when you feel strength or calm or peace. Also, a resource for me was baking a cake with my daughters on Facebook Live with my sister, who's all the way in the Maryland area, Maryland, D.C. area. That really did a lot for us. And thinking about it this morning, we all had a smile on our face, and just that sensation, that that memory of last night baking cake together with our family and friends on Facebook Live now brings a smile to my face, and that helps me build resilience. That will be a resource for me this week for sure. Before I move on, does anybody have any questions? Please feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll try to get back to them as I move along. But doesn't look like there are any questions right now, so I'll go on and move into the next 3 skills. We've learned the basic 3, and we're going to learn 3 more CRM skills, CRM skills this afternoon. And those are gesturing and spontaneous movement, help now, and shift and stay. And gesturing and spontaneous movement is really something that I was keyed into with my first CRM training. I let myself be a guinea pig and be crimmed by my instructor. And she noticed certain postures, certain gestures that I was making as I was recalling my resources. And I know gestures can be self-calming. They happen with a sign of release after whatever threat you perceive has passed, or that highly stressful event has passed. There may be some gesture you don't even think about that you perform during those times. And then there are universal gestures, bowing your head for some people in prayer or in meditation or in thought. That can be a gesture that sends your body a message that you're coming to a place of calm. It can bring a sensation that's pleasant or even neutral for you. There are joyful and powerful gestures. How many times have you been to the beach and looked at the ocean and just flung your arms wide spontaneously? You didn't even intend to do it, but that was a gesture of joy or power. And then there are protective gestures where maybe you put your hands up for people to back away, or maybe cross your hands over your chest. Those are gestures that you may do spontaneously, but your body, again, reading that language of sensation, these are things that can bring you a sense of calm or peace and help you reset your nervous system. For me, I noticed during that time, during my training, I would roll my ankle, roll my foot around. That was just a spontaneous gesture when I was in a calm place. I know specifically patting my chest. It reminds me of times that I've had as a mom birthing my babies. And that might be something that's small, but I notice that when I do that, I can put myself back in that place of nursing my babies and holding them to my chest and feeling their breath on my neck, the sensation of that. When I pat my chest, all of that comes back. And that deep sense of joy is expressed in my body through the sensation of warmth here, just the vibration even of patting my chest. And it resets me every single time. I don't have a baby here anymore, but even just the gesture totally resets my nervous system and helps me stay in my resilient zone and builds my resilience. So just keep that in mind. Think about things that you may be doing. Prayer hands. Sometimes you see people do that when they get to a place where they feel calm or at peace, or when they are seeking peace, or even raising their chest and taking a deep breath. They might not even think about it, but notice that in the people you're around day to day, home with your children or your other family members. Notice their gestures and invite them to do those gestures again to continue to bring that sense of peace. And notice your own gestures. Figure out what you do inadvertently that brings you that sense of calm, that sense of peace. The next skill that we're going to talk about is Help Now. And Help Now is really like a rapid reset. It's something that you can do when you are bumped out of your zone, because with CRM, we know that if we stay out of our zone, if we're bumped too high into that anger space or mania or anxiety, or bumped low with numbness or depression, if we stay in that place for too long, again, it will wire our brain for that for surviving and staying in those places. So as we build resilience, we want to make sure that we're wiring our brain so it goes to those pleasant and neutral sensations to help us reset. And with Help Now, those are things that you do that let your nervous system reset based on sensation. So we can have a drink of cold water, and actually feeling the sensation of the cold water going down our throat, that actually resets our nervous system and allows us to come back to the present and not get lost in those spaces outside of our resilience zone. You can open and close your eyes over and over again. You can look around the room wherever you are, paying attention to anything that draws your attention. You can name 6 colors that you see in the room. These are great to do with children. They're really great for everybody across the lifespan, but they're so simple. Again, CRIM is accessible, it's adaptable, and works across the lifespan. So use these with yourself, but if you're home with your children, please ask them to name 6 colors, count backwards from 20, or go for a walk around the room. These are all things that require your brain to kind of sense into what's going on around you, so that you're not so focused on looping that unpleasant sensation of what's bumped you out of your zone. Any questions about that so far? Okay. And finally, we have shift and stay. Now, shift and stay is really what I kind of consider like a maintenance skill. You shift to a place inside that feels neutral or comfortable. The present moment can be you sitting in your seat and grounding. If you get like those feelings of anxiety from being cooped up inside for so long, you can go right back to shifting to those resources, or shifting to grounding and recalling those pleasant and neutral, more comfortable sensations to help you reset your nervous system. So that's really just going back to Help Now strategies, going back to the gesturing and spontaneous movement that we talked about not too long ago, going back to a resource or grounding and staying in those comfortable, neutral sensations. And as always, this is invitational, and it's a practice. You may not notice it immediately, but the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more resilient you'll become, the deeper your resilience zone will be. And like I said earlier, we're here for you. If you have any other questions, feel free to message us. I want to make sure that you know about our webpage. It's nhcbouncesback.org. There are resources there that you can find on building resilience. If you have any other training questions, please feel free to email me at jv as in Victor, ANETE @ciscapefear.org. And I'd be happy to engage you, and we can review the skills and maybe set up some trainings. As I said last week, we're going to try to go to some virtual trainings. We're working on brainstorming how to make that accessible. So again, like our Facebook page, visit our webpage, email me with any questions. I've loved coming on and talking about skills, about tracking being foundational, tracking the sensations in the body, resourcing, making a list of things that bring you a sense of calm and peace, and going back to those and sitting with the sensations that they bring. Grounding, feeling the support of a surface, either the floor under your feet or the back of your chair, or as you lie in bed, ground, like feel the support of the bed, of the mattress, of the pillow under your neck and head. Gestures or spontaneous movements, pay attention to those things that automatically give you a sensation that's comfortable or pleasant or neutral even. Help now, those are those rapid reset skills that you can do, walking around the room, drinking some water, naming colors, counting backwards from 20, things that you can do immediately to bring you to the present and bring you out of that anxious state, that negative wiring, as I like to call it, or shift and stay. And that's visiting all of the skills or what skill works best for you in those moments where you feel like you're getting bumped out of your resilience zone. Again, we want to be a resource for you to build resilience, to help you serve the people around you well in these uncertain times and always. And if there's anything that we can help you do, connect you with resources, advocate in any way, and share information, please let us know. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share this with your friends, and we'll talk soon.